Hello. This week I made a comic strip that someone says to me, you should work on fixing your stuff. And then I go, shh, I don't have to do shit. Yeah, because I felt really, I just felt really, I don't know, what's the word? I said sassy, but I'm not sure if that's the word, but I just felt really like yesterday. Sometimes you just get impatient, and I think it was because I was doing taxes, and that brings out feelings. So yeah, and it was also inspired by a message or multiple messages that I received of people telling me that I should work on my stutter, which I actually don't get that often. So that's nice. But yeah, some people just send me advice and then get angry when I don't want to do anything with it. Um, and someone said that he's surprised or said that I don't want to improve, um, which is his judgment of what I was saying. But I wasn't saying that I don't want to improve, but I don't want to fix my stutter as he is saying. But of course, I want to improve in other things, and I thought it would be interesting to talk about that in this video, because there are some things that I want to improve, or that I'm trying to improve and have been trying to improve over the past years, with my speech and how I talk to people, how I communicate. And I thought it was interesting to say that now and record it, because then I can watch it back later and see if I added any things and if I improved over the years. So the things that I want to improve, I wrote them down in my phone. This has been one that has been going on for years. It's making eye contact while I'm having a block. And this one is difficult for me because some people in my life, they have really, their facial expressions when I stutter, they change a lot when I stutter. And I see them as a negative reaction. And I get I feel a lot when people when their facial expressions change when I stutter. It makes me feel uncomfortable. But avoiding eye contact doesn't really help that, of course, because I'm still avoiding that feeling. And I know that getting comfortable with uncomfortable feelings helps a lot. So I think making eye contact, if I do it more while I'm having a block, that I will get more comfortable with the negative reactions, and that it will get easier then. And that I maybe don't even see them as negative reactions anymore. And one other thing that I'm trying to improve is that I'm not pushing through blocks. So if I feel a block coming, I stop and I try to get through the word in a calm way instead of really pushing through it. And this is also to practice feeling a uncomfortable feeling, because the feeling in this context is time pressure, and time pressure makes you feel uncomfortable and you want to get out of the word as fast as possible. So by stopping and really slowly trying to get through the word in a comfortable way, I am practicing getting comfortable with the uncomfortable feeling of time pressure. And I also want to try to stutter voluntarily with kids, and I mean family members of mine that are kids, because with them it's like the only situation where I subconsciously still try to hide my stutter, and it's really hard to get out of that because I'm doing it subconsciously. So voluntarily stuttering, I think that will help me a lot to push myself out of that hiding by forcing myself to stutter in a comfortable way. So with voluntary, is it voluntary? Voluntary stuttering? With voluntary stuttering, I mean voluntary stuttering, so in a very comfortable way, and I think that will help me a lot. And what I've also, it's a very subtle thing, but what I've also been trying to do is, instead of, so when I'm blocking on a word or when I'm stuttering, I used to do that in a more silent way, so people wouldn't hear my stutter. But now I try to have the stutter at the same level of volume than the rest of my words. And it tells me that it's okay to stutter if I stutter out loud instead of trying to hide it. And that also makes me more comfortable with it. And the last thing I wrote down is just that I'm trying to improve on lifestyle things that also help with being more chill, I guess. So I'm just doing exercise and trying to be healthy in general, more healthy. And I try to stop doing a lot of things at the same time. So I just try to do one thing at a time. And I try to not watch shorts because they make my brain really busy, and that doesn't help with communicating. And there are, of course, some other things that I was already doing in my life regarding speaking. And that is one of my favorite things is allowing silences in conversations, which is also a thing where you practice an uncomfortable feeling, because people often want to fill in the silences because it feels uncomfortable and awkward and but I got pretty comfortable with silences now by practicing it a lot. And I think it's really nice because the person often starts saying more, like the person that I'm having a conversation with. If I let the silence happen, then they often say more, and it's often something deeper that they were thinking about. And it makes for more interesting conversations than if you just constantly try to fill up the silences. And something that I kind of stopped doing years ago was just switching words. I just don't do that anymore, and it's really nice. That has helped a lot with accepting my stutter, that I don't switch words anymore, because it tells me that saying what I want is more important than being fluent. And I'm also pretty good now at picking up the phone, at least when I'm called on my personal phone. I pretty much always pick up the phone. The phone at home, I'm not sure, because those are like people that I don't really want to talk to. So I can practice that, but yeah. And making phone calls is pretty easy for me now because I do it with voluntary stuttering. It makes it really easy. And that helps a lot on the phone. So I got more comfortable with that. And of course, I do a lot of other things, which I often post about on my Instagram, like using objective language when talking about stuttering and not praising myself in moments of fluency, to just see it as stuttering and fluency, or just speech, and I don't see it as good or bad and stuff like that. So, but yeah, those last things are things that I've been doing for years and that are really helpful. And I also could improve on saying more what I want to say. If I talk, I always say the words that I want to say, but I don't always talk when I want to talk. And this is mostly with people that I'm not super comfortable with yet. So I could improve on that. And I want to improve on that because it's more kind towards myself. Like all of these things, I also wrote that down. I don't have the goal of being fluent in all of this improvement. My goal isn't to be fluent, to speak fluently, but the goal is rather how to be more true to myself and more kind towards myself. and that ultimately just makes me feel more fulfilled in life. And I do this by practicing getting more comfortable with uncomfortable feelings. Okay. So this was what I wanted to tell you guys this week. And coming Friday, I have a really nice video planned, which is another video where I ask questions to some of my friends who stutter. And I really like this video. Like, there are some really valuable things that my friends said in that video. So I'm really excited to share it. And I just think it's nice to see them talk about stuttering and being open about it. I just really appreciate that. So this was the video for this week. If you want to support me on Patreon, there is the link in the description. And as always, thank you for supporting me by just simply watching this video or following me on Instagram or leaving a comment or just liking. I appreciate all of that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!